Thanks, Daria. I'm here with Jeff Mayweather to talk about an upcoming fight. Jeff, when was the last time you visited a university?
A long time ago when I first moved to Vegas.
I know you went to the University of Michigan. Can you tell me? You did?
Western
University of Michigan, yes, sir. Can you remember college life? If so, can you tell us a little bit more about what you studied?
Well, I studied graphic design. I worked in that field for maybe 6 months. I designed some jewelry for my manager at the time, and that's really almost the only graphic design work I've ever done since I've been in Las Vegas, and even toward my degree.
So if you could give your past self some advice, and or someone here in this room some advice, what advice would that be? Because I know you're full of wisdom, so.
I'm out of wisdom right now. No, actually that you gotta follow your heart. I mean, when it's time to make a decision, I mean a life decision, I think that you gotta follow your heart. I mean, not always your chosen curricular. You gotta follow your heart, and I mean that's what happened with me.
So now let's talk what everybody wants to talk about, KSI, Logan Paul 2. The first fight ended in a draw.
Right.
Yeah, it got a lot of attention that people did not anticipate. These two major YouTube influencers have now turned professional to fight face off at the Staples Center this coming week. Do you think this type of events are changing the name of boxing?
Well, I think it's evolution. I think that with time, everything changes, and I think that this is great for boxing, because at the end of the day, it's still, even though it's boxing, it's still a business, and when you can generate potentially 40 million eyes on, on an event, yes, that's why they're the main event. Not because they're great fighters or anything like that. It's because of the following that they can generate.
Definitely, the following has a lot to do with it. We're anticipating a huge turnaround for this next event coming up on November 9th. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think that with good training and a good training camp, anybody can get into the boxing ring?
Not just the camp. It has to generate over time. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's fine for these two guys to do this because, I mean, they do have a camp, but still, they're not fighters. But they still are somewhat athletic. So it's okay for a YouTuber to fight a YouTuber, but for a YouTuber to fight a real fighter, no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely not. It's going to be very dangerous on their end. Typically, they might just get hurt. Now, how has it been for you advising the fight and also training a YouTube now turned professional fighter versus training a real boxer?
It's funny because in the camp, I kind of had to put the brakes on everyone because everyone was pushing this guy like he's fighting for a world title. I mean, he's fighting for his status symbol as a YouTuber, not as a fighter. So everyone was pushing him, and also he's one of those people that when you push him, he wants to satisfy everyone. And I told him, I said, no, I said, stop trying to satisfy everyone and just do what you need to do. You don't need to do nothing extra. And so we've had some up and down times in camp, and it's funny, like the fighter that I actually trained, Vidal, who's probably one of the nicest people you ever meet, I've seen a totally different side of him because of his love for KSI, and KSI was having a bad day, and he went off. I mean, he really went off, and so it was kind of like, and then I have to, being that I'm the older and the wiser of everyone, so I brought everybody together and I told them, I said, it's time for everybody to be positive moving forward. No more yelling, no more screaming, none of that, and no more putting him down, because if he goes in there with the mentality of, his team not behind him or they're riding him too hard, I mean, he's going to go in there, you know, and it's not going to be good for anybody.
Yeah, so last question. There's a lot of trash talk going around, and I know that Logan Paul said that the Mayweathers are just using him for views. What do you have to say to that?
Well, first of all, it's boxing. When you speak boxing, what do you speak? Mayweather. So I was chosen to be a part of this team. So that comes with the territory. I mean, they have following. I have a name. So what's the difference?
Absolutely.
I mean, we're bouncing off one another.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, that's all I have for you today, Jeff. Thank you so much for your
That's
time.
it?
Yep, that's it.
Hey.